And we're back with a book that I love. I hope you all enjoyed the little Halloween special thing I did. It's a lot of fun. Pet Sematary was interesting, to say the least. So we're back reading Storm and Fury, which I am enjoying a lot. I don't know if I expected to like this book as much as I did. It was hyped, and sometimes when books are hyped you get a little disappointed, but I'm really liking this, and I did not realize how long it was. Even though it's like a thick book, I kind of didn't really anticipate that it was going to be this long and that it would take us in the book club 6 weeks to read. But I don't know, I'm really liking it. So because of that mistake I made last week of the, just cutting the chapters in half, I decided that today I'm going to do 3 chapters and then I'm just going to split all of the reading that the book club does in half from now on. And I'm unsure what I'm going to be doing, whether I'm going to schedule them every week on Monday, so it's going to take a little longer to get through this book, or if I'm going to do Monday, Thursday, or whatever I end up doing, I'm not sure, but it'll be decided this week by the time this video comes out. So you'll see this video and then the next one, which will cover the remaining half of the Barely Book Club's reading. So this week we are doing chapters 13 through 15, so if you have not read chapters 13 through 15, stop the video here, read the chapters, come back to me, because I summarize all of the I summarize the chapters as I go through and talk about them, so I don't want anyone to get some spoilers that they didn't want, or find out things that they did not want to know about, because this is a spoiler included video. So alright, let's get right into it. So chapter 13 starts off with her mulling over the conversation that she had with Zane, which if you didn't see last week's video, you should probably watch those first. But she is unable to process the idea that not all demons are bad. This is something stemming from that conversation they had at the end of the last book, the last chapter, where Zane basically, we find out he worked with demons in the past and he doesn't think they're all evil. I don't know how I feel about that theory. I'm obviously open to it because I get that they're a species, and also I've watched The Good Place, so I don't mind seeing that. I just wonder how they're gonna play that, because usually in most pop culture, demons aren't necessarily, I don't know if it's to say they're not sentient, but they're usually being controlled. So I don't know, because it would then mean, because they've already established that upper level demons control lower level demons, it would mean that the upper level demons aren't all bad, and that he's worked with upper level demons, because we've already established that lower level demons do not, they're not in control. So I'm interested to see what happens there. So Trinity called herself a weapon and said that a weapon should not feel bad for killing someone. And I get that she's supposed to be super powerful and all that, but I think this idea of thinking of yourself as just a weapon and that's all you are is a horrible, horrible thing, because you're still a person. Whether you are super powerful or not, you're a human being. And this idea that she can't have a life outside of fighting is terrible. It's a horrible, horrible curse to put on someone, in my opinion. So then Peanut comes in and pretends to be working out, saying that he wants abs like Zane. And I love Peanut. If you don't remember who Peanut is the ghost, that basically won't cross over and just hangs out in Trinity's house. So they're friends. He's cool. He died in the 80s, so he's punk rocker vibe, and I love it. Peanut goes on to tell us that he heard Theory and Matthew talking about how they made a mistake and the mistake was writing itself, which is definitely ominous. And I wrote down my theory from when I read this. So my theory was making that the mistake was making Misha her protector, because we've already seen kind of the strain on them and that he can't feel when she's in danger anymore. So by writing itself, is it choosing its own protector? I'm wondering. I think that's and then my second part of the theory is, did they know about Zane? That's why he looks kind of familiar. And are they making Zane her protector? Because he's always there when she needs help. So it would kind of make sense that he's becoming her protector. That's my theory. I don't know if it's true. I guess we'll find out. You know, we're halfway through now. So I guess we'll find out soon whether I was right or not, but that's my current working theory. So the final ceremony is tomorrow, and Trinity decides she's gonna go, because usually she doesn't go to these kinds of things, but she hasn't shown her face at any of them, so she decided to go to this one. Matthew and Clay are interviewing people to find out who attacked Matthew and Misha are interviewing people about Clay to find out if anyone knows any more information and find out more details about the Clay attack, because even though he didn't like Trinity anymore, it was still kind of out of nowhere. So I think there's a lot going on there that we don't know about, and I think that throughout this book it's going to be revealed more and more. Trinity goes on to work out, as you do, you know. She goes to work out with Jada, and they go to the room that's usually always empty, and surprise, guess who's there? But Zane. Zane's working out there with Des, of course, because he's everywhere all the time. So Zane apparently told Des how great Trinity is with knives, and Jada, who is supposed to help keep her secret, encourages this and says, oh yeah, she's great, why don't you show him or whatever, and says that Des said, oh, can you show me? And then Jada answers for her and says, yeah, she'd love to show you. And it's like, do they not remember that Trinity has a secret she's supposed to be keeping here? Because obviously she's not keeping it, she's showing off right now. So Trinity hits her targets dead on. She hits them in the head and in the throat perfectly. But she shouldn't have, because she's supposed to be playing as human and untrained with just a little bit of training. But that shows that she doesn't just have a little bit of training, and she doesn't have like the understanding to know that obviously they're gonna ask questions when, you know, she just showed off like that. So next, she says she's better than him at hand-to-hand combat, and let us remind ourselves that he is a warden, which means that he is like a super powerful, genetically bred, essentially, fighter. And she's not supposed to show that she's better than a warden. So why would she go ahead and start showing off all these like hand-to-hand combat moves when she's not even supposed to be better and she's not supposed to be trained? I don't understand. She is not blending in this situation at all. And being I don't know if this is a terrible friend or good friend vibe, but Jada leaves and brings Des with her so that they can fight alone and have alone time. And again, is this the smartest thing to do when you're supposed to be blending in and pretending like you don't have superpowers? And Jada literally knows and supposed to help keep her secret, but obviously, apparently she forgot that because she did not help right now. After he doesn't want to fight her, Trinity straight up tackles him, and then like she could have gotten out of this entire situation because Zane did not want to fight her, and she just straight up attacks him when he's not looking to prove that she's better than him. And I'm like, you could have gotten out of this. I don't understand. Because if your entire life is trying to keep a secret, why would you go out of the way to make it harder for yourself to keep a secret? So of course they do that romance trope where they get to the point where they're play fighting and one of them's over the other and they're like face to face and they have that weird pause because that's what happens in every like romance movie that features fighting for whatever reason. But Trinity kisses him, thinks he kisses her back, but then he jumps off of her and like won't say anything. Misha's in the room. Misha was standing in the doorway. She runs out and it just is super awkward because I don't even know why they didn't say it. Like why? I don't understand why Zane would kiss her back and then not say anything like a weirdo and dip out and then causing Trinity to apologize and then leave the room. Like that was so awkward and I just don't understand because they've been flirting with each other, so I don't get why Zane would have that reaction. I don't really understand it, but I guess we'll find out, hopefully. So chapter 14 begins with Jada finding all out about the kiss or whatever. And Jada thought that they were just gonna, you know, keep flirting, fighting, whatever. And yeah, we find out that Trinity is apparently wearing a super low cut dress because that's how it has to be. That's another thing I don't understand. Like that's another trope I don't understand, okay? Is when you know when someone goes to, in a movie, you know when like the awkward person goes to the dance and they have the super low cut dress that they're obviously comfortable with, but it just fits them so perfectly and their friend owns no other dresses. Like I don't understand that. How many super awkward people have friends that the only dress they own is one singular super low cut dress? Like, I just don't understand that trope, I really don't, because if I borrow a friend's dress, more often than not, it's just gonna be a normal dress, which covers me in a way that I feel comfortable in. Like, she's obviously not comfortable. I don't understand why Jada would have this dress, but I know it's dramatic, and oh, we have to see how beautiful she is, because apparently this is what makes her beautiful. Ugh, I hate it. I hate it. That's the one trope that really gets to me, okay, because I'm just like, she was beautiful before. Can we acknowledge that? No? Okay, fine, I guess. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. I don't care. I care a little. It's fine. Trinity basically says that she wants to be something more, which I get that. I mean, if your entire life this is coming back to the conversation I just had like 5 minutes ago, and I don't really want to repeat, but you can't just be one thing. Like, people contain, if you're a person, you're not just the one thing. You aren't just like a nice person. That's not your only quality. You know, people are more than just a singular characteristic, and her singular characteristic right now is weapon. And she's still a person. She has emotions, and she should be allowed to be a person and have those relationships with people. And she's just kind of realizing that all of her friends are in relationships and she's alone, and like, that's not a fun thing to be going through, especially when everyone's like, well, you shouldn't have to worry about that because you're a weapon. Like, no, she's still a human being. They go to the final ceremony and there's a spirit hanging out by Des and Nicholas, and obviously they don't know they're there. They don't know that the spirit's there because they keep pushing their chairs in and out and going through the spirit. Zane never shows up to the final ceremony because he's a weirdo and awkward. My theory, I wrote this down while I was reading through it, my theory is that the spirit is Zane's dad. Because we all already know that Zane's dad died. And the spirit, we find out, is a warden. So my theory is that it's Zane's dad. And I don't know if this is true or not. I have nothing to like stand on this, but that's just my guess. Trinity is mostly blind at night, so of course what she does is she goes outside and follows the ghosts outside where she cannot see anything at all. And she keeps doing this. She keeps going outside where she can't see anything, and if you can't see at night, don't walk around by yourself at night. Take Misha with you. Take somebody else. Take someone who can see. Just because, what if you trip over something, you know? And obviously she pretends like she can see, which is something that I don't really understand. I don't know if anybody knows that she can't really see, except Misha. Because, you know, they could get her like a guide dog, you know? I think that'd be cute. It could be like a little puppy or something. That'd be adorable. But I think she keeps denying the fact that she can't see, so they should either light up the surrounding area or something with lights so that she would be able to see, or she should go with someone, or get a cute little seeing eye puppy, because that's what this book needs, truthfully. This, continuing on, the spirit greets her when she goes to where the spirit had led her, which is like a little enclave situation. I forget what those are called, gazebo kind of thing. He leads her over there, and then he turns to her and says hello, which is weird because most of the spirits don't realize that she can hear them or talk to them. This spirit says that he messed up and he's coming back to like face that he messed up. And then without answering any of his questions, he dips on out and disappears, which is super annoying, and I hate it. I hate it so much because she deserves answers. She deserves so many answers, and she never gets any of her questions answered. Like, all the time, they just let it be, and she just has to suffer. And it's just like the reader has to suffer too, because it's like we are kept in the dark as much as Trinity is kept in the dark. So we don't know this mistake that everyone keeps talking about. We don't know. Theory and Matthew keep a lot from her that they don't want her to know, which means the reader doesn't get to know. So I kind of wish that they would tell her more, just because I want to know more. So I guess it's a little selfish that I want her to know more, but I want to know this mistake that they keep referencing. And I'm sure we'll find out in a couple chapters, but like, I hate that we could get it answered so easily if Matthew and Trinity would just be, Matthew and Theory would just be a little bit more honest. Chapter 15 starts out with Zane immediately showing up because he always finds her when she's alone. The second she's alone, I swear, Zane is there. He just appears the moment that she's by herself. So Zane shows up outside because, you know, apparently he decided last minute to go, and, you know, the entrance is through the back, I guess, which doesn't make any sense. But Zane starts flirting with her again and says that she's beautiful, which is another question of why he got so weird after they kissed, because if you think she's beautiful, what's the problem? I don't understand. Have open conversations about your feelings. I don't get it. Full weirdo Zane is being really weird about the whole kissing situation, even though he's still kind of flirting with her, which, talk about your emotions, talk about your feelings, have open conversations, discuss whether you do not want to be kissed with, like, if you don't want to kiss someone but you guys want open flirting or whatever that situation is, have that conversation, communicate. Oh my gosh, it's so annoying. Zane, of course, after she smacks down on him and actually provides him with an actual challenge, starts questioning her training, which she should have thought of, and she's just kind of surprised, and she's like, oh, why is he questioning this? And she's like, I should have figured that he would have questioned this. Yeah, obviously, you take your entire life trying to hide this secret, and then you meet a cute boy and suddenly you want to beat him up. Like, I don't understand. Why do you have such a hard time hiding this secret? I don't get it. And then this chapter ends by a demon showing up, Zane shifting and throwing Trinity on his back, and boom, that's the end of the chapter. So that's the end of this video too, because apparently I'm the worst. I keep leaving everyone on cliffhangers, but I wanted this to be a nice round 20 minutes. So thank you everybody for watching. If you want to join the Barely Book Club, we're going to be picking a new book soon since we're about halfway through this book now. So this is the perfect time to join and get in on picking the new book and voting for the next book so you can start reading with us and not be like behind like I am with posting these. But yeah, I hope you all enjoy. I'll put the link to that in my bio, and then also have the link to my blog if you want to read my, book reviews or any of my writing tips or anything like that. I also write short stories sometimes, so those are out there too. But that's available for free and you can check them out. And also, if you want to follow me, I'm Barely Bookish on all the places pretty much. I have basically any account you can have. I have it, except a MySpace, because no one is there anymore. I'm not making an account. That's the one thing that's dead and I don't have. So, I also don't have a TikTok. I don't think I need a TikTok. We're just gonna leave that at that. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to press the subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!